Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fun one because we are going to be doing a full face of Lottie London. I was recently added to their PR list, and since then they've been so generous and pretty much has sent me a product in every category. Almost. I did look online and they do have a foundation and concealer. There are only 6 shades and 2 of them are deep. So that's pretty problematic. And then I went to my local Walmart and they didn't have that in store, and they also didn't have a primer. So those are the only things that I don't have on me, and I did try to get them. Actually, I think they did have a primer, but it was sold out. So I figured I'd just film the video anyway. I did create like a little written post, but for those of you that may not have seen that, almost 2 weeks ago, I did lose my father-in-law very suddenly. So today is one of my first days being alone. My husband's gone back to work. I wanted to film, but I just haven't really had a lot of energy to like put real clothes on. So this is my pajama t-shirt. Filming does make me feel better, but dressing for filming I find is quite difficult. I just figured I'd practice some self-kindness and not worry about it. So this t-shirt has a cat on it and it's sitting in a cup of tea and it says kitty. I think it's cute, but it's not really like an outfit, you know? So please forgive that. I just wanted to film because it makes me feel better. If you're dealing with grief, especially with the upcoming holiday season, just know that I see you, I love you, and I'm praying for your peace. And with that, let's just get started with the makeup because that's a much lighter topic. I think I'll start with brows, and I'm actually going to give this eyebrow a trim because I trimmed this one yesterday and then I forgot to do this one. So I'm going to do that quickly off camera. Okay, done that. I find when I trim this one, it starts to look really patchy. This is the one of the products that I had to buy because they hadn't sent it to me. They only have 2 shades in a lot of their brow products. They had like a Brow Wiz looking type pencil. They also had, I don't even know what they're called, but it's like the product that has like 3 prongs in it. It looks like a little comb. I haven't had any luck with those, so I didn't get that. I do find I have pretty good luck though with brow pens. So that's what I picked up, but they only had 2 colors. I think they had brown and black, so it might be a bit dark for me. If you're blonde, you're SOL, I guess. It says it's long wearing, smudge resistant. Shake downwards before use. Figure if I can find like a good brow pen. I really like the NYX one, so you know, but I think Lottie London is a bit cheaper than NYX, but again, with only 2 shades. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? That's not brown, that's red. Is that just the initial strokes? Because now it's looking more brown. I'm very confused. It's changed color the more I swatch it. So this was the first swatch, and as you can see, that looks very much auburn. It kind of got more brown as I swatched it. But we'll try to make it work, but it looks very dark and potentially very red. So let's try this out. I'll zoom you in a little bit because we're doing eyes. Ugh, I don't want to do this. What's with them only doing like 3 shades of everything? I get that it's drugstore, but like, ugh, this looks red. Shit. So I got red hair for the day. I will say the pen itself is very fine. I'm gonna clean this up too, by the way. And the strokes do look very hair-like, but if they don't have your color, does it really matter? I'm not doing a very good job. I do usually like to like do some shading and then add in the hair strokes. I'm just trying to blend this out a little bit. I feel like it looks very harsh. Very messy looking, but I will clean it up. Oh shit. It's very pigmented. Like I'm trying to be gentle. Oh, it's kind of hard to remove too. So I'm barely pressing at all. This shade is very much not my shade. And it's a very pigmented product, which I'm not really sure how I feel about in a brow pen. Obviously you want pigment, but like there is such thing as too much, to the point where it's not very user-friendly. And if it's not user-friendly for me, Lord help anyone else. And it is very budge-proof once it's like dried down. Like this is not going anywhere, unfortunately, because it looks atrocious. Oh, I'm unsure of what to do. Okay, so this is 20 minutes later. I'm really not thrilled about how they came out. They do look better after being cleaned up, I think, I don't know. But I did have to like scrape off some of the product so that my brows didn't look black. I don't like that, like at all. Buyer beware with this brow pen. Since I don't have concealer, I am going to keep it drugstore. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo. This is a brand new one. I really missed having this in my life. I would definitely say it's like a favorite. This is in the shade Fair Beige. It's a little light for me, I think, actually, but probably good for a concealer to be a little light. lighter. I just can't believe that brow pen. I feel like I look like Bert from Sesame Street. Okay, so I've just blended that out. Now I'm going to go in with the Lottie London Ready Set Go Pressed Setting Powder. I did use this and I didn't like it, but I used it with a very finicky concealer. And I know that that concealer, the e.l.f. one, is really good and works for me. So I feel like using this powder with something that I already know I love, it will be like the real test. It makes my lids like white. Whiter than usual. Or did it? This is without, this is with. Maybe my lids were already super light. It didn't really mesh terribly though with that concealer, so that's good. It does really lighten things. I think they have another shade though. Don't quote me on that, but I think I did see a different one at the store. Yeah, this definitely makes it lighter. It kind of adds like a gray cast to my concealer, which I don't love. I don't know if I like that either. Okay, well, they have a translucent powder as well, so maybe I'd have better luck with that. Next up, I'm going to do some eyeshadow, and I have this Lottie London 9-piece eyeshadow palette. This is in the shade The Mauves. It's definitely my kind of color story. Neutral, but still kind of purpley. Love that. I'm gonna start out with this matte shade right here in the top right corner. Hopefully we have good luck with this. Ooh. That's quite nice. It's applying evenly. Really blendable, actually. I really quite like that. I like that better than the Kosas Undressed palette. That was like $54. I did end up returning that one, by the way. I was gonna do a 3 looks 1 palette, but I could just not get on board. Every time I tried to like film that video, my eyeshadow looked like shit. And like I could make it work for me, but I was just over making it work for me. Like I shouldn't pay $54 and have to try super hard and have it be questionable if it's even gonna turn out, you know? Wow, I really enjoy that. Yay, we have a product that Kelsey likes. Well, we have one eyeshadow in a 9-pan palette. I'm then gonna go into this deep chocolatey shade, the one that's on the top left, and I'm gonna use this on my outer corner. Not super pigmented, like right off the bat, but that's not a bad thing for me as long as it's buildable. And it's looking like it is. I don't have a problem with like lighter pigmentation as long as it's not patchy. That's when I start to be bothered, is when things are not blendable and applying patchy. But if it's not pigmented and just needs some building, that's fine with me. That's actually honestly probably preferred. I very much like that. Now I could go in with one of the shimmers in the palette. I would go in with probably this light one because that's just what I do and what I gravitate towards. Maybe I'll use this as an inner corner highlight. I did swatch it and it was very pretty. Of course, I couldn't tell you how it performs on the eyes, but I wanted to try like as many products as I could in one video. And I do have this metallic eyeshadow topper. So it's an eye foil. It looks like it's a liquid shadow. This is in the shade Shady. So I figured we'd try this for the lid. Okay, let's swatch this bad boy first. It's something, I guess. I don't know. I was hoping for something a little more pigmented, but I guess with it being an eye topper, it kind of implies sheerness. Let's try it anyway. It is quite sparkly. I put these nails on last night. Maybe I should have waited till after I filmed this because I can't get into my inner corners. It's not patchy. I like it. I don't love it. I think I just had an expectation of what it was gonna be and it's not that. I just prefer my liquid shadows to have like a lot of pigment and be something similar to the Stila Shimmering Glows. High shine, high pigment, that kind of thing. So if you're wanting something that's a little more sheer, this would be a good option upon first application. It definitely gives you that kind of scattered sparkle effect that's really in right now, and it doesn't really appear to be disrupting my shadow underneath, which is really important, which is actually like one of my main gripes with products like this. So the fact that it doesn't do that is actually great, and we can see throughout the video how it wears. It doesn't feel like there's going to be any creasing. Like it feels like it has a pretty good dry down. For eyeliner, I have this, and I'm a little concerned. Not really concerned, skeptical, I guess. This is the Stamp Liner Stampin' Eyeliner Duo. So it's like a winged liner stamp. I hate these things, mostly because I don't need a stamp and I just find it ruins my wings. Oh, actually that looks like an okay stamp. It looks like an okay shape to the wing. Let's try some eyeliner, I guess. I can tell you right off the bat I don't like it. Not the worst eyeliner I've ever tried. I've tried high-end that are a lot less black than this, so that's good. It is kind of hard to get a smooth line, I think because it's so big. I don't love this so far. Okay, let's just try it. Okay, I've definitely drawn my own wings that are uglier than that for sure. That's actually not that bad. Maybe if you have a really hard time with wings, that might be a good option. Me, I don't have a hard time with wings, so I feel like I don't really need it. But okay, so I really don't like that product. I'd rather just do my own wing liner. I find the actual pen of it quite hard to use, and for this eye, I found it difficult to stamp. I didn't get it on camera, but it was a mess. So I try to make them as even as possible, but I would just prefer to, you know, do my own thing. But the actual stamp worked well if you're wanting just to stamp. I feel like that would work well, but it was my first time using it, so this one got a little wonky. Next up for lashes, I have this Super Fake False Lash Effect Mascara. It's a pretty tube. Okay, let's see. Oh, I didn't show you the tube and said it was pretty. Oh, it's a rubberized wand and it's pretty thin. I personally really like rubberized wands, so hopefully this works well for me. I don't really like it. It's not very separating. I feel like it makes everything look kind of clumpy. I feel really bad. I don't like a ton in this video. However, sometimes mascaras just do that until they dry out a little bit or a little clumpier. So maybe it's something that would grow on me over time. I'm finding this formula to be a little thick. I prefer something a little wetter because it's easier to manipulate. Yeah, I'm not liking this so far. Just as a first impression. Man, I feel like I'm being so negative. I feel quite badly. However, I'm also not going to tell you something's good if I genuinely don't think it is. Okay, so I'm gonna pop off camera. I'm gonna do my base makeup because I don't have any of those products, and I'll probably put some false lashes on. I don't think they sell falsies. At least I didn't see them at the store. So yeah, I will be right back and we can move on to like cheeks and lips. Okay, so I did my complexion and I finished off my eyes. I think it's official. I don't like that powder. It just gives way too much of a white cast for me. It goes beyond brightening and leans more towards ashiness. So that powder's not for me either. I did, however, like the mascara much more on the lower lash line. I don't know if that's helpful. I'm gonna take a little bit of this light pinky shade and I'm just going to apply that. Oh, that's really pretty. I'm really liking the eyeshadows. Moving on to cheeks, I do have a bronzer. I'm a little worried because it's very orange looking. This is the Sun-Kissed Coconut Scented Bronzer. Not very coconutty smelling. Like a little bit, but oh my god, this looks straight up orange. Oh god, I'm so nervous. Oh god. All right, let's go for it. Oh no. I don't know if it's turning up that orange on camera, but in person, yikes. This could almost be like mistaken as an orange blush. You would definitely have better luck if you were deeper skinned than me and had some warmth to your complexion. Versus me, I'm more neutrally pink in undertone. I don't love it. The formula is actually quite nice. Maybe I'll just add a little bit under here to kind of get rid of that ashiness. For blush, I have this pH cream color changing blush. Kind of fun. This is in the shade Onyx. It's very waxy feeling. I'm not having good luck with any of these. And it's kind of purpley. Don't know how I feel about that, but let's try it regardless. It's actually better than I was expecting, I think. I also shouldn't have set my under eye. That was a oops on my end. I'm just gonna blend out right here. I don't hate it, actually. I don't hate it at all. And I'm pretty finicky with my cream blushes. I find powder usually works way better for me. I find you don't need as much as I applied there. It is a little bit on the purpley side, but that's not like a bad thing. Do I think it's pH adjusting? Probably not. And it layered over powder is really nice. That was actually one of the products I was scared of most, but that actually applied quite nicely. I'm really impressed. For highlighter, I have the Viral Diamond Bounce Illuminating Highlighter. This is the frosted one. They have 3 shades. They have a silvery one, a rose gold, and a regular gold. I already know I like this product. I don't know how I like it as a highlighter. I feel like maybe during the holidays though it would be really pretty. It's a dupe for the Fenty Diamond Bomb. I feel like during the holidays that actually would be really pretty and extra sparkly and fun. I'm not sure when I would wear it on my cheeks other times, but I do really like it on the eyes. I do like this applied with my finger best. Applied with a brush, it's okay. Sometimes I find it can take off my shadow that's underneath when I use it like that, if I'm not careful, but it does work pretty well. Both ways. I just prefer sparkle on the eyes as opposed to the cheeks. And lastly, for lips, I have this Slay All Day Matte Liquid Lipstick. Ooh, the packaging is actually frosted a little bit, which is really pretty. Smells like a familiar formula, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Maybe ColourPop? No. Maybe? I don't know. Really pigmented. Oh, got some on my teeth. That's a really pretty shade. I do like it. I feel like my eyes are a little pink for this color, but that's okay. The formula seems really nice. I'm just gonna let it dry down before I put a gloss over top. That dry down was pretty quick. Feels nice and soft. Doesn't feel super drying yet. I know that'll come. That kind of comes with liquid lipstick territory. I then have this Love is Love Shimmer Lip Glaze, and it's really cool because it like has an ombre effect in the gloss. So I almost don't want to use it just because it's so pretty. This lip gloss is in the shade Be Bold. Doesn't really have a scent. It smells like cheap lip gloss because it is cheap lip gloss, I guess. Yeah, it's not fully transfer proof. Doesn't bug me personally, but that actually feels pretty nice. That feels like a really nice gloss. It's not sticky at all. If you like sheer glosses, you might want to check that one out. And lastly, I have a setting spray. This is the Dewy Setting Spray. It has skin shielding actives. I don't know what those are, but it has a pretty strong scent. Oof. I don't know what that is. I don't particularly like it, but I'm really scent sensitive right now because I am pregnant. So yeah, this is the completed face. I don't love it. It's definitely some of my messiest work. I'll zoom in on the eyes so you can see the liner that I've kind of messed up. I'm not even going to attempt to go over my lash band with that liner because it's just kind of hard to work with, and I'm going to take this right off anyway. So okay, so I did a little bit of a roundup. I have 3 categories. I have products that I did not like, products that I could take or leave, don't really care for, don't love but don't hate, and then a like category. So first up in the dislike category, this is probably my least favorite product of the whole video, is the Arch Rival brow pen. Don't buy this unless you have really dark hair. Yeah, that just did not work for me at all. I found it very difficult to use. The other one is the stamp liner. I would buy this for the stamp if you like stamps. I personally feel like I can do better just freehanding it, and I actively dislike what's on the other side of the stamp. This is just too big, and it doesn't deposit color smoothly, so I found that my liner was really jagged, especially because I have textured lids. So this just didn't work for me. The Ready Set Go pressed setting powder I actively did not like. It makes me look ashy. It's more than just brightening. It has like a gray undertone. I think they do have a different color, but I'm not sure what it is, and I don't know if it would have a similar effect. They do have a translucent powder, and I would be interested in trying that over something like this. And lastly, in the actively dislike category, we have the bronzer. The formula was actually quite nice, so if you do find that you like a warm toned orangey bronzer, this might be for you. And not to say that orangey bronzers are bad, they're just not what I personally would go for. The formula was quite nice though, so I'm kind of sad that I don't like the color. I would be interested to try it as like a bronzy peachy blush. I might have better luck with it that way, so I will continue to test it, but as a bronzer, this is just not for me. In the take it or leave it category, I have the Slay All Day Matte Liquid Lipstick. This did seem to transfer, which was weird. I don't know if I just didn't give it enough time. That's the thing with first impressions videos. I feel like you have to test things a couple times to really determine if you like or dislike something. This was just okay. It was fine. It was comfortable. I'm just not a huge matte liquid lipstick person anymore, except for when I'm filming, so I probably will get more use out of this, but I wouldn't say that I like need to have it in my life. Also, the mascara, the Super Fake mascara, didn't like this on my top lashes, did like it on the bottom lashes. I might like it more as it dries out. We will see. I'll continue to use it, but I can't see it being like my holy grail drugstore mascara. My current favorites are ones by CoverGirl. Those seem to work for me. This one, I just thought that the actual formula itself was a bit too thick and it caused my lashes to clump. So yeah, I did like the wand though for my lower lashes because it was nice and skinny and rubberized. I think some people might like it. Mascaras are so personal, so I could see other people liking it, but it just wasn't for me. And lastly, the Dewy Setting Spray. This is fine. I don't really like dewy setting mists, but I could see myself using this to like dampen shadows. It's also pretty heavily scented, so for people who are scent sensitive, this might not be for you. I can see myself using it, but I don't think I would actively go out of my way to make this a repurchase. Then for the like category, I have the lip gloss. This actually feels really nice on the lips. I like that it's ombre. It doesn't have a scent, which I also kind of like. Like I mentioned previously, I'm pretty scent sensitive right now, so I would rather no scent than a bad scent. I do like this so far. It kind of goes on clear, so it's just kind of a fun way to have like a clear gloss. Next, this one really surprised me because swatching and like putting my finger in it, I didn't think I was gonna like it. This is the pH Cream Color Changing Blush. It's kind of fun. I don't think it's actually pH adjusting. Like I don't think any pH adjusting products are actually pH adjusting. I think it just turns pink, but it is fun because it's like a black blush. So I did like this. applied with a brush, I found it to be pigmented, but not too pigmented, like not like Rare Beauty liquid blush status. It's kind of got a more purpley vibe, which I kind of like for this time of year. It kind of gives more of a like, I've just been outside and I'm slightly frostbitten kind of look. So I actually really like this and I could see myself reaching for it again. It also applied very nicely over powders, which is really unheard of for like a lot of cream blushes, let alone one that's so affordable. Obviously I like this product, the Diamond Bounce highlighter. I think it's so fun. Not sure if I really like it as a highlighter per se, but I do love this on the eyes. It works really well. If you've been wanting to try the Fenty Diamond Balm, but it's out of your budget, like it is for me, this is very similar. I've seen swatches. This is a great alternative and it's going to provide you a look that's very similar. Very pleasantly surprised by the eyeshadow palette. I can't wait to use this again. It was very pigmented. Well, actually not super pigmented. It was pigmented, don't get me wrong, but it was very buildable. Didn't emphasize any texture on my lids, which is really nice. Sometimes I find that can happen with drugstore shadows. This did not do that. Everything that was sheer was very buildable. The colors didn't muddy together. It was just performed really nicely. I would say it kind of performed like ColourPop shadows if you're familiar with that formula. I do have to try it more because I didn't really play with the shimmers that much, but I would highly recommend checking these 9 pans out. I was gonna say quad. It's not a quad. And lastly, I do like this. I think it's really pretty. It's just not what I was expecting. It's the metallic eyeshadow topper. It's the eye foil. Typically things like this that kind of have like a sparkle in a base and aren't super pigmented themselves, I find can really mess with your shadow that you already have on top if it's a powder. And this did not do that. It just applied like a really pretty scatter of sparkle. And I was not expecting this to be what it was. I thought it was going to be like a highly pigmented product, but I do actually really like it. And I think it's like kind of a trendy look to have just like some eye sparkles. So if you're into that trend, I would definitely check this out. And that is everything for this video. I've definitely had better makeup days, but I did discover some gems that are super affordable and I'm looking forward to testing out more. Let me know if you've tried anything from Lottie London and what you like versus dislike, because they do have a lot of products even beyond what I just showed you today. So I would definitely be interested in trying more things. So yeah, that is it from me today. Thank you so much for tuning in and thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. Please don't forget to subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's okay. I just really appreciate you being here. It helps my channel so much by you watching, so thank you. Please leave any video requests you may have in the comments down below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.